Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I will be reviewing the film Logan. Logan is directed by James Mangold, written by Scott Frank, James Mangold, and Michael Green, and stars Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Richard E. Grant, Dafne Keen, and Boyd Holbrook. This is a Logan movie review, and there will be spoilers. If you like our movie reviews, please like this Logan film review and subscribe. Once subscribed, click the bell notification box to be instantly notified of our new reviews. Please also consider supporting us through a channel membership or by becoming one of our patrons on Patreon at patreon.com/FilmBook. And now, the Logan movie review. Logan is the best standalone Wolverine film to date, and the second best X-Men film to date, behind X-Men 2. Wolverine fans had to wait through numerous PG-13 X-Men film outings and 2 horrific Wolverine films to get to Logan. The aforementioned films are the heavy carry-on luggage that the viewer brings with them into Logan. By the time Logan ends, not only is that luggage discarded, but their deleterious memory is also seen as a necessity. It took those films, those ups and downs, to create a Wolverine film that finally gets it right. Logan is the most grounded superhero film to be released in years, possibly since Batman Begins. Logan is an X-Men film unlike any other X-Men film. It contains the James Logan Howlett, or Wolverine, storyline from the previous X-Men films, but there are no distracting explosions or CGI nonsense within the film. Logan is a different type of comic book film. It is an intimate character piece, full of heart, brutal combat, well-written and acted revelations, and substance. The heart and soul of the film are Wolverine and Charles Xavier's relationship, and the old gunslinger motif from westerns. There is a role reversal in Logan between Wolverine and Xavier. Instead of Charles protecting, housing, and feeding Wolverine, Wolverine does all of those things and then some for Charles. Ergo, Wolverine placing Charles on a toilet so he can excrete. Wolverine is Charles's dutiful caretaker, but unlike a disinterested paid nurse, Wolverine deeply cares for Charles. Charles is the sole remaining remnant of the happiest time in Wolverine's life. Charles is also Wolverine's mentor and closest friend. Both characters ooze that relationship in Logan. That relationship is exemplified when Charles turns Wolverine's head toward him and tells Wolverine that he is such a disappointment. The two of them have been on a long journey together, a journey that is coming to an end. The time for lies is over. In keeping with the old gunslinger motif found in westerns, the Wolverine in Logan is long past his prime years. By the time period in the film, 2029, Wolverine is over 100 years old. He is suffering from multiple signs of his advanced age, dull eyesight, healing factor shutting down, etc., including an undisclosed ailment that may be slowly killing him. All of those ingredients give texture and substance to the old Wolverine that the viewer is seeing. It makes him human, relatable, and real. Also humanizing is Wolverine's desire to ride off into the sunset with Charles, and possibly Caliban, and escape the current world and their fates within it. The world of this western is recognizable to the viewer, even though it is 2029. Logan contains the familiar, ergo mutants are being hunted, and the unfamiliar, ergo automated semi-trucks and human robo-enhancement. All of these elements are part of a cohesive narrative, where the former dominates while the latter adds to the background tapestry. The world on display in Logan is slowly turned, like a miniature globe in the hand, so the viewer can see its minute details. The live-action Ghost in the Shell film tries to do this, but it comes off as artificial, digital, and fake. In Ghost in the Shell, the camera would, at times, and to its detriment, only show the viewer the CGI environment. In Logan, it is characters and narrative first, environment second, i.e. the environment is there, but someone is talking or something is happening within that environment. One of the most interesting parts of Logan's environment, and one of the film's greatest narrative accomplishments, is that mutants are all but extinct, thanks to anti-mutant drugs placed into humanity's water and food supply. Like in Deadwood and Children of Men, this is spoken of as if common knowledge by those in the know. In Logan, before its architect and his latest Weapon X experiments become key factors in the film. The most interesting background element in Logan is how the original X-Men team has died, and how the world sees Charles Xavier. It is a wonderful character moment in Logan when the sorrow bubbles to the surface of Xavier, and he speaks of that terrible event to the one person, the one former student that is still by his side. Wolverine must have told Xavier that it wasn't his fault hundreds of times, but the pain of that day still weighs on Charles. It is a moment of narrative revelation, and of lost loved ones, something that only Wolverine can truly understand. It is unfortunate that Wolverine is not there, and is not listening to Charles's greatest regret. Wolverine doppelganger X-24, who is the biggest surprise of the film, stands there instead. Brutal, feral, and rage-filled, X-24 kills Xavier in such a soft way that it can only be at the behest of Dr. Xander Rice. Both are aided in achieving Xavier's death by one-time ally Caliban. Caliban's betrayal of Xavier is a moral one. Charles Xavier's mind has degraded into a bioweapon of uncontrollable power. By helping to kill Charles, Caliban sees it as preventing multiple future deaths from happening, including his own. Of all the bad guys in Logan, Caliban is the only one who is morally conflicted. The other bad guys in Logan are one or two-dimensional at best, though Donald Pierce's subtextual intro scene is highly effective, standard for a comic book movie outside of a Nolan-helmed superhero film. Also two-dimensional in Logan is Laura, or X-23. Through the majority of Logan, the viewer never gets a sense of who Laura is outside of her powers, what she has been through, and what has been done to her. It is only in the third act of Logan that bits of her personality emerge. Before that, Laura is all quiet intimidation, ergo the serial scene in the first act of Logan. One of the lingering plot holes of Laura's storyline in Logan is that it is never disclosed how or where she learns combat tradecraft, ergo how to fight, how to evade detection in an urban setting, etc. That point notwithstanding, watching Laura fight X-24 in the third act of Logan is one of the action highlights of the film, besides Wolverine fighting X-24. Wolverine's early rejection of Laura and his eventual acceptance of his daughter and growing affection for her during his death mark Wolverine coming full circle as a human being and the end of his long, turbulent character arc. The ending to Logan may be the most poignant of any superhero film before it, exceeding the ending to Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. Ending Logan with words spoken by Laura from a lauded and classical Western film like George Stephen's Shane is the perfect way to end Wolverine's storyline. Wolverine was always a loner, a man who enters from the east and exits through the west. As the marker on his grave is adjusted to its proper position, the viewer is made aware of the path Wolverine has always been on. It is a path at its end, where X, home, family, the X-Men, marks the spot. And that brings us to the conclusion of this Logan movie review. I would love to hear your thoughts on it below in the comments section. If you liked what you heard during this review, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Please also visit and subscribe to our podcast channel at FilmBook Podcast on YouTube. If you would like to get FilmBook's articles delivered to your inbox, sign up for our daily newsletter or download our Android FilmBook app for instant notifications. You'll find links to both in the description and on our website, FilmBook. That's film-book.com. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you next time.